In today's video, I'm going to show you how you can use our lead connector webhook. This is really important because we are providing you with these different webhooks that you can use to automate your workflows on GoHighLevel. When you go to this specific app on our IDX add-ons, lead connector webhook, you're going to find that each one of them have an instructions on how to set up and also the webhook URL. That's the case for each one of them. And the setup is really easy. The one thing to consider is the instructions. There are specific details, specific information that the lead needs to have in order for the webhook to work properly. That's the case for each one of those. There are some of them are optional, but some of them are really important and needed for the webhook to work properly. For today, we're going to set up the IDX broker lead basic search. This endpoint is going to be really useful when you have the lead basic information like names, email, and the general property search criteria they have. It can be city, county, zip code, area, property type, these are the property types available, and also minimum price, maximum price, beds, vats, square feet, acres, and the search URL. Important thing here is that you need to include either the city, the county, the zip code, or area, but only one of these per request. Let's get started. For this specific webhook, we have this example of how we can create it. As you can see here, we're going to do the same on our CRM, GoHighLevel. So the first thing, we are going to need a trigger. It can be any type of trigger depending on the needs that you want to see on your workflow. Next step, we're going to go to search for an action called webhook. Once we found that specific action, we are going to get the URL from our IDX add-on. So we're going to go back, and at the bottom, you're going to find the webhook URL for this one, in this case for the example, but you're going to also find for each one of the other items here on the list, the webhook URL. Now, let's copy this webhook into our workflow. Once this is copy and paste, we are going to save the action, and we're going to go back to IDX add-ons. In here, we have three required items, which is the first name, last name, and email. We need to make sure that the leads that are going to pass through this specific webhook have these details. Otherwise, the webhook is not going to work properly. So let's map those three first items: first name, last name, and email. So we're going to go back to our workflow. We're going to add the items: first name, and the value is going to be contact first name. And we're going to add the last name, and the value is going to be contact last name. And then finally, we're going to add the email. And then we go to contact, email. Once we finish that, we're going to go back to IDX add-ons and see the optional search criteria that we have available to set up via this webhook. We can choose from any of these items. You can set up a form, you can set up a survey, you can set up any type of method to get this data from the lead. We're going to create a form that is going to allow us to populate these specific items, like city, county, zip code, area, property type, and the prices, and the rest of the search criteria. So to continue with that, I'm going to go back and I'm going to create a form. Based on doing this, we're going to add first name, last name, email, and in this case, I'm going to be using, let's say, a city. Let's choose a different one. Let's say we want to add the property type. And then we're going to add the options. As you can see here, we're going to go back on IDX add-ons. So we have all of these available options that we can use. And then we're going to pull up the options. Let's use the first one: residential, multi-family residential, and rentals. We are going to add the maximum price. Once we finish our form, we're going to go back to our automation to map the rest of the items that we want to attach to this webhook. So it would be zip code, here's a custom field. Then we're going to add another one for property type. And finally, we're going to add another one for maximum price. Once we are done with the setup, we're going to save. And that's it. That's how you set up your workflow using one of our webhooks, in this case, the IDX basic search webhook. You can set this up so you can move your leads to IDX brokers. Just remember that first name, last name, and email is really important to have set up for this webhook to work properly. So you can add this webhook step to any of your workflows to generate a basic search for your leads.